Work with love. We're moving into a beautiful new world where the definition of work is changing drastically. There won't be corporate jobs because the corporations are folding one after another in favor of smaller shops and stores. Hospitals and the medical professions as we know them will soon become redundant because of the fantastic technology that's being released, and because we understand more and more that our bodies can heal themselves with some help from natural remedies. The legal profession is being made redundant because people are realizing that the legal profession is a different universe that was created to add to our enslavement. We're not only talking about lawyers and judges being retrained and the courts being based on integrity rather than corruption in future. You'll no longer need to pay for a license or tax for this and that and the other. And the people who sustain these auxiliary systems will become redundant in those jobs. The religious world is becoming redundant fast because people now realize that religion has for thousands of years been used to enslave humanity and stand between us and our Maker. This has become abundantly clear in the reactions of most religious leaders in recent years when places of worship were closed for extended periods. Rather than live out what they preach and fight tooth and nail for what they believe, the religious leaders either stepped back in obedience to some unseen force that was not acting on anyone's interest, or used the opportunity for more fear-mongering and making money out of the situation. And how much of this money went for helping people who lost their income? We're discovering how our education systems have failed us for years because educators followed the dictates from their masters in terms of content rather than teach children to use their naturally inquiring minds. Did you know that immersing yourself in a subject for an entire day guarantees learning, whereas jumping from one subject to another every hour or every 40 minutes was designed as a means of disrupting thought patterns and causing frustration and anxiety? And it didn't stop there. Did you know that the continent of Africa is bigger than all of Europe, China, and the United States of America together? That's just one of the remarkable facts that you were never exposed to at school, where you were taught a misrepresentation of the world we live in all of the subjects I can think of. I can cite many more examples of how the world of work is changing right before our eyes. However, let me rather give you hope for the beautiful future that we are entering as we speak. What if you no longer need to work for money? What if you can do and is expected to do what your heart desires because all of your basic needs are taken care of? What will get you out of bed then with a spring in your step? Here's a beautiful quote from the prophet by Khalil Gibran. Often I've heard you say, as if speaking in sleep, he who works in marble and finds the shape of his own soul in the stone is nobler than he who plows the soil. And he who seizes the rainbow to lay it on a cloth in the likeness of man is more than he who makes the sandals for our feet. But I say, not in sleep, but in the over-wakefulness of noontide, that the wind speaks no more sweetly to the giant oaks than to the least of all the blades of grass. And he alone is great who turns the voice of the wind into a song made sweeter by his own loving. Work is love made visible. If you are one of the millions of people who now need to redefine your work life, ensure that you focus on what you love to do, so that you not only have a reason to get out of bed, but also to thrive in a beautiful new world where trees and grass get an equal amount of God's breath. We all have a gift that we brought to this world. And now is the time to show your gift with love. Are you ready? Namaste.